So I mentioned before there's a lot of things I get to do a little more of in Informatics 191 that I don't get too much of a chance to do with you. Everything gets condensed, the lectures, the guidance, even the number of times we get to do sprint reports and execution tests, everything gets reduced, which is unfortunate, but you have to live with it. The class moves fast, and by next week, if you look at the schedule, and I hope that you do, there's already multiple things to do one day after the other, and that's the pace we're going to be at. We get maybe one last chance to stop for a moment and hear a little more about how to be successful in this class and maybe beyond this class.
Good afternoon. Please close your laptops. Please turn off your phone ringers. Thank you. My name is Six Silberman, and I am not the teaching assistant for this course. I was for 1 year Hadar's teaching assistant in Informatics 191, the senior capstone project. Last year, I prepared an introductory talk for that course. Some of you heard that talk. Hadar asked me to give a short version of the talk here. So this course, like Informatics 191, is about delivering software of value. I feel comfortable talking about this because in addition to having been Hadar's 191 TA, I'm the lead programmer for a website used by thousands of people every day to make a living. If you took social analysis of computing, you might have heard about it. It's called Turkopticon. I feel comfortable claiming that I've helped build software of value, and I feel comfortable giving you advice about doing the same thing. This course is not about imagining, talking about, mocking up, planning, or prototyping software. You will make software, but you can make software alone in your basement. In this course, you'll deliver software to a client, which is very different. In this course, you may make mock-ups, documents, use cases, plans, or prototypes. Those things are important, but they are about software. So is this course. In fact, the point of making those things is to help you make software of value. Something has value if someone wants it. Does your software solve a real problem a real person really has? Or make someone's life better in some other way? If it doesn't, your software may be elegant, efficient, extensible, but it will be valueless. Nobody will want it. In this course, you should make software that somebody, in fact, your client, wants and cares about. To succeed in this course, you only need to do two things. First, you must figure out what software to deliver. Second, you must deliver it. The course schedule and assignments are designed to help you do these things, and the teaching staff will do their best to help you. If you feel that the schedule or assignments are preventing you, or the teaching staff are preventing you from doing these things, please talk to them. They'll talk about the schedule later. For now, I'm going to talk about 7 things. Start with grades. Given past experience, I can say that it's likely some teams will deliver A or A+ projects in this course and many will not. It's likely that within many teams, some people will contribute more to the effort than others. Final grades will reflect this. Both members of the teaching staff want to give everyone an A, but they can only give you an A if you deliver software of value to your client on time. The teaching staff will try to keep teams on track to do this, but there are only 2 of them. And many of you have jobs and other hard classes. I can tell you how to deliver software of value, but nobody can make you do it. You may even make a rational choice not to spend the time required. This will result in a lower grade because, unfortunately, that is the job of the teaching staff. In this course, attendance and evaluations are graded. Attendance is graded because it is much harder to deliver software of value if you do not show up. Peer evaluations are graded because they help the teaching staff help you make software of value. And your evaluations of the teaching staff help them improve the course. If you don't believe any of these claims, please ask somebody who took 191. This course is not about coding in the same way that Intro to Programming is about coding. But every person will code. This course is an upper division elective in informatics. Informatics is not only about coding. It is about software in its many contexts: technical, organizational, social, and so on. You cannot win at this class by code alone. You have to figure out what is worth coding. But if you can't or won't code, you will not succeed. This class is not about coding in the same way that a cathedral is not about bricks. To build a cathedral, you need bricks. But the cathedral is really about theology, politics, architecture, organ music, stained glass. Bricklaying is taken for granted in cathedral building. The cathedral is about what you can do after you know how to lay bricks. If you are building a cathedral with a team of thousands, you can have a few non-bricklayers. But if you have a team of 4 or 10 or 12, every person must lay brick. In this class, every person must write code. If you think of yourself as a non-coder, change your thinking as soon as possible. Do not fool yourself by thinking you will be your team's interface designer, project manager, or document writer. The designer who does not code makes designs that are hard to code. The project manager who does not code does not know how long things will take and cannot manage. The writer who does not code cannot describe code accurately. If you try to make it through this class without learning to code, you will contribute less to the project than your teammates. You will feel inadequate and insecure. You will start avoiding meetings and classes, and your grade will suffer. If you cannot code, learn now. As soon as you know what language and framework you will use for your project, learn it. You learn a programming language or framework by building something in it. If this is your first time coding something real, build something unrelated to this class on your own. This may take 10 hours, or 30, or 60. The faster you accept this as a requirement and start, the sooner you will be able to contribute substantively to your project. Don't panic. Students have done this before, and it's not even that hard. The main thing that you need to do is decide to do it. If you don't know what to do once you've made this decision, ask the teaching staff, and they will help you. If they don't know how to help you, you can have them email me. I will help you. Coding takes time. Learning to code takes time. Delivering software of value takes even more time. Every person who wants to deliver software of value in this course should plan to spend about 15 hours per week outside class time on their project. Not every team, every person. By plan, I do not mean plan in your head. Please put recurring weekly events on your calendar outside class time called 117 work that add up to at least 15 hours a week. Give the events a physical location. Probably not your house, in front of your television. If you don't have a calendar, get or make one and use it. I asked Hadar, do the 117 projects have clients? He said yes, 12 projects, 12 clients. In-person meetings are best for understanding what your client actually wants. Working together in person is also best for making code that works. As soon as you know who your client is, I presume that you all know at this point, schedule a weekly in-person meeting with them. If you can't get a weekly in-person meeting, get an in-person meeting every 2 weeks and a phone or Skype call the other weeks. If they refuse to meet with you this often because they are busy or whatever, explain to them that this will probably negatively impact the quality of the work that you produce. If they are serious about your project, they will give you the time, especially if you ask for it. Coordinate with your team so that you are working physically together as much as possible. Many people think they can work as effectively remotely as in person. They are wrong. If you have a problem, talk about it. If you break something in your code, talk to your team. If you overscheduled yourself and are not sleeping enough, talk to your team. If you have a family emergency, talk to your team. If your whole team has a problem, talk to your client or the teaching staff, or both. Do not try to fix big mistakes on your own and hope that nobody else will notice. You will probably make it worse. If something happens in your life outside of class, tell the people that it will affect. Do not try to get everything done anyway. If you don't sleep enough, you will get sick, and then you really won't be able to contribute. I can't tell you how you should coordinate. I don't think that you need to be available 24/7 on text, email, phone, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and GroupMe. I do think that it is better to have scheduled meeting and co-working times and say what needs to be said at those times. If that sounds crazy, consider it, but do whatever you need to do. But make sure that when you need to talk, you talk. And remember that it is far easier to convey complex information, which the technical information about your software projects is, by phone than by text, and by far easiest in person. When you work, work. You cannot multitask. There is simply no such thing for humans. It is a lie that we all tell ourselves. If you don't believe me, Google this string. When you work, close your email client. Close Facebook. Turn off your phone ringer. Not vibrate. Off. If you don't trust me, just try it for a week as an experiment. Finally, in this course, please try not to bullshit. By bullshit, I don't mean lying. Most of you would not lie to your team, your clients, or your teachers. You've been taught all your lives that lying is bad, and most of you even believe it. I believe it too. And I and the members of the teaching staff expect you not to lie. So, what's the difference between lies and bullshit? Suppose you're taking an exam. There is an essay question. Discuss the role of the Antikythera mechanism in the cultural, institutional, and technical evolution of trans-Mediterranean trade networks in the early, right. You studied very well, but you have no idea what the question is asking, much less how to answer it with a whole essay, presumably based on things that you learned in class. So you write something. something with keywords in it, right? Your goal in writing is not to answer the question. You can't answer the question because you don't understand the question. This, in all fairness, could be just as much the professor's fault as yours. But in any case, you've arrived at a situation in which your goal is just to get as many of those points as you can. So what do? We all know. You bullshit your way through. I mean, this doesn't mean anything. You won't get 99,000 points for this, but you might get like 80,000, 75,000 at least. B minus, C plus. It's a pass, right? Fortunately, there are no exams in this class. But there is a situation that is quite likely to come up. You may find yourself giving a presentation about some software that you built. Your client, or somebody else in the audience, or Hadar, might ask a question. You know the honest answer to this question is no, but you might find yourself feeling a little embarrassed, saying no. You know that perhaps you should have added this feature already, or you know that at least you should have thought about it. But you didn't have time because of your job and other classes and stuff. So you say this. Who has not heard this answer before? Right. No hands. Don't do this. Do this. Or even this. In this course, you get no points for big words. You get points for delivering software of value. You can use any method to deliver if it works. This includes being ignorant in public and causing experienced people to have sympathy for you and give you advice. Please do your absolute best to be honest. Being honest goes beyond not lying. It also means not bullshitting. We all feel pressured to bullshit when we don't know something, but we have to talk about it anyway. Nobody is immune. But we can all make each other's lives and work better by helping each other clear away bullshit. You don't have to be mean or even use the word bullshit. In fact, I recommend that you don't call each other out with the word bullshit. You can ask simple, clarifying questions like, what do you mean by optimize? Or, when will it be done? You may notice that clarifying questions and clear answers often have short, precise, everyday words, even if those words are, we don't know yet. The opposite of bullshit is not just truth, it's clarity. Telling the truth clearly. I don't know. We didn't do it. Can be embarrassing and difficult. But I promise you will be happier in the end. If you have questions about bullshit, Google either of those. I'll put all this another way. Every person on every team at all times should have two goals. First, to achieve clarity on what is being built, why, how it will work, who will build each part, how and when, and how the parts will fit together. If these things are not clear to you, make it your personal mission to figure them out. This could involve communicating with your client, your team, or the teaching staff, drawing a software diagram for yourself, learning a new framework, organizing your calendar, going on a vision quest in Central America. Do what you need to do. Second, build it. This will take time, focus, organization, discipline. It may feel hard, but it is absolutely certain that every person in this room can do it. The teaching staff will help you. You will probably not have complete clarity on this just yet. Details are coming. The teaching staff will take questions later. I wish you all great success. Thank you.